Hello and welcome to the second part of this assembly audit. Now, for those who joined us late, I will reintroduce the cast in the sequence which they will be talking. Starting with Rajan Bab de Mello of the TMC. I think he wants to talk about what happened in the last time. Viraj Bab Naik, cephalogist. Viraj Bab, welcome. Pratima Bhai Kutino, welcome. And last but not the least, Samant Bab, Siddharth Bab Samant. Trajan Bab, yes, the floor is open for you.
See, I had said in the beginning, I had said in the beginning that there was no fruitful discussion that helped the people in this assembly.
Okay.
Viraj rightly pointed out there was a fruitful discussion, which ultimately the fruits emerged for the pay hike to the MLAs. Fair enough, agreed. Now, what I am trying to say is, just now Cleophas Bab is gone. Pratima Bhai has been so in the forefront in that Banastari issue. Tell me, lives have lost. Everybody knows that tremendous influence is working to cover up the whole thing. I would like them to answer me one question. Was that influence also used on the opposition MLA who should have taken that opportunity? As Advocate Cleophas said it, that should have been a hot topic to be debated, so that because the investigation was getting flopped, everybody knew it was haywire, so much of doubts created. So if such an issue where lives are at stake, where political pressures are being used to cover it up, so has it reached the opposition also that they all kept quiet about it? Is my question. Therefore, I am asking, what ultimately, how did the people, even people who lost their lives in a tragedy, unfortunate tragedy, it should not happen to anyone. It could be my mother, it could be my sister, it could be my brother there.
Absolutely.
And nobody talks on the floor of the house, and we talk that they did very good, they did very good. What is that very good?
Who did
Playing to the gallery? The so-called opposition. It was the duty of the opposition to bang this issue. Everybody, I am not naming anybody here. It was everybody. A joint effort. Where is the joint effort? There is no joint effort. And Bob Cleophas said, I am looking at the prisons of 2024. Yes, the people of India are looking for 2024. 2024 is the salvation of every citizen of India. And therefore, we have to look at in that direction. We can't just be sitting and saying that gallery, they did it well, this coordination was better, much better, it could have improved. This is all jokes going on here.
Vedota, this is a audit, assembly audit. We'll talk political later.
No, I'm talking about the assembly.
Yeah, okay.
The tragic incident that took place.
I agree. This point I totally agree. Yes.
What is the fruitful discussion?
Absolutely.
People have lost their lives, brothers after
Viraj Bab, we want to, one thing, I don't know about the what do you say, salaries of the MLAs have gone up.
The fruits of the fruitful discussion.
Yeah, but my point is not salaries only. My point is
pensions and all that.
No, I think for cars of 15 lakhs is gone to some
pensions have gone up. Pensions have gone up.
Yeah, pensions have gone up. More than that, houses for 30 lakhs you can be 60 lakhs. These our senior guys, like whoever has brought up this thing for increase, he needs. Our salaries are so bad. Do these senior guys really need that type of this? Anyway, Viraj Bab, this is my thought. You take or not this take generally.
So,
but do you agree with one of the points that what Trajan has said, that this issue could have been banged in the assembly? It should have been, right?
The hike
accident part.
Yeah. So definitely. So coming to the Banastarim accident and overall in general. So if you look at police are supposed to be your friend in need, but it has become the opposite. You encounter police when you least need it. That is when you are not wearing a helmet. So the point here, that is in a lighter note, but the point here is there has to be accountability not only in police department but other departments as well. So investigation, now justice will fully depend on the way the investigation is carried out by the police.
Absolutely.
So the compensation for the deceased, the insurance that they could get to claim for the deceased, injured cars, everything will depend on the way police investigates. Now in an accident, accidents can happen, they can happen to anyone, anytime. Sometimes it happens due to negligence and sometimes it just happens due to some reason where the driver is not really at fault. But drunk driving is a very serious offense. Insurance claim will be rejected when the person is found to be drunk. That is one point. Secondly, if a botched up investigation results in acquittal, then there has to be some reward and retribution thing being in place for the police, not only police but all other departments. So if they are rewarded when a proper investigation happens, there has to be something to point out that investigation was not done properly. Similarly, there was an issue with electricity department, cables issue. 149 crores are spent and the cables are not working.
Not there.
Now, was a pilot project not done? Could they have not done a pilot project of say 50 lakhs, 25 lakhs? The findings should have been put out, and then they should have gone for such a large scale project. They might have done it, I am not very sure, but who is accountable? 149 crores is not a small amount.
It's our money, people's
It's
money.
our money. Now, I could understand if you are experimenting with some technology. Now, there are potholes on the road, so you are experimenting with some technology that could solve the problems of the future, investing a few lakhs, then it's okay. But such a big scale. So, the point I'm trying to make is, every time a mistake happens, if it happens on a smaller scale, yes, let it happen, because we learn from mistakes and then improve. But when it happens on such a large scale, there has to be some accountability fixed. Police department, even other departments.
I agree, because see, you and me, Viraj, we work on evidence, we work on numbers, figures, all that. Now a lot of like generally people work on emotion, and generally I don't know what. I think a lot of the government departments, they have got soothsayers as consultants. There is no planning, nothing. Like smart city, you make a pothole, cover it, break it again, cover it again, so whatever. Anyway, Pratima, you were saying that I cut you short last time. Yeah, so
no,
please go ahead.
just discussed, and yesterday, since last day of assembly, last टाक तेनी एक bomb घातलो, आणि bomb घातलो म्हणल्यार pensions to the MLAs and the ex-ministers. Okay, wait, let me talk about it. Pension, wait, I'll tell you. हमरे सांगता तुका सांगता. I'll tell you. वारे वा, listen to this. Goa MLAs monthly pension going up again. Okay. Digambar Kamath, Ravi Naik, Movin Gudino will now get 1,66,000 per month. Listen. Second. As pension. No, whereas Alex Lawrence, Vishwajit Rane will be getting 1,06,000 per month. I come. Toshets, Kaunte, Nilesh, Sawant, they'll get around 86,000. At the best part, among the past MLAs, Pratap Singh Rane will be getting 2 lakhs per month. 2 lakhs.
Even old people.
Ani Churchill Alemau will be getting 1,26,000. Maybe so he always appreciates Barik Samajacho CM Muntani. So 1,26,000 teka. Luisin Falero, he'll be getting around 1,66,000. Francis Silvera, 1,06,000. Are Baba, what is this? Konache poishe hai.
Luisin is going to get Rajya Sabha also pension?
Tenga je meutale enche TMC rupache asa teka. Are inga goche meutale. Are va. So how kide munta pension, but he'll get the pension. Ex-MP gets. I'm telling you, ex-MP. Enches borpache. Are Baba, taxpayers money to तुमका खंय तुम्ही पेजेक पडल्या खंय बिगेक पडल्या. दिगंबर कामत had put that thing in the assembly की आमकां गाड्यांक मोटरांक लागून पेट्रोलाक हायक करपाक जाय आणि हे यांचे बॉंगले पळयात, यांचे ट्रान्झॅक्शन वचून पळयात, यांचे प्रॉपर्टीज पळयात, यांचे भुरगे फॉरेनाक शिकतात पयशे इतले आणि हेंकां आणि काराक दिकून तेंकां लोन अमाउंट हाऊस. हांव कितें म्हणटा, अरे आयज विडो पेन्शन तुमी 2,000 विडो पेन्शन बायलांक दिवपाक रडटात. ते समज तुमी 5,000 केल्ले, और तुमी destitutes or senior citizens 5,000 केले, खंय तरी तांकां वखदांक पयशे पावता आसले. आयज वखदां कितें मारूंक जालें, टोमाट 150 रुपया. अरे तुम बारीक समाजा जितना पॅरा टिचर्सांक पगार ना, कदंबाच्या स्टाफाक पगार ना, बालरथाच्या रस्त्यार येवपाक पडलें. हे कितें चल्लां आणि तुमची फॉल्गां हेंकां.
Okay. Also, you have also gone to 24, I think. Wait, one second.
No, but this was discussed yesterday. आणि Valor ते युरिक leader opposition आणि एल्टन बाबा कितें जावं.
Yes.
They stood by it. They worked out. आणि तुम्ही टायगर रिझर्वाचे उलयताले, तो हांव सांगता तुका, तुम्ही कितलेंय सांगात, पण पळय देव मदें पडलेलो आसा. देवान वाघाक हाडिल्ले आसा महादेव सेव करपाक आणि हायकोर्टाचे जजमेंट आयिल्ले आसा. आणि आमी पयर हांव राजन घाटे बाबाक घेवन, मारियान फेरावाक घेवन, शंकर पोलजी आणि रामा काणकोरकर हांकां घेवन हांव म्हज्या नावेलींत हांवें पंचायतींत 9:30 ड्रायव्ह स्टार्ट केली. हांव नावेली पंचायतीक वचून सरपंचाक मेळ्ळें. हांव तेलावली वचून आमी डिस्कशन केलें. हांव आकेंबाश गेलें, दावोल्ली गेलें, हावजींग बोर्ड रुमदामोड गेलें आणि मडगांव गेलें आणि रिप्रेझेंटेशन दिलें. आणि तुका एक सांगपाक सोदता तुमकां पॅनलाक, You know what? Akembash is dominated by BJP. The Sarpanchas are on the panel. But you know what? One, Pradeep Acharya, it is dominated. But you know, the panel jikla the BJP che, they had put those candidates. But you know what? I like the best part.
All over Goa, panels are BJP.
Yeah, no, but this is like Kattar Sarge. Okay. But you know, I liked one thing about there's this lady called Kattar Sarge, Tingache Sarge Panch. I'll not name her, but she told, and media was there, 365 reporter only was there covering up. She told directly, Hanga Pratima Bai, Ami Tuju Borobar open asa. Ami a resolution getali, Ani Ami mantali. And so nice that the Sarpanch also agreed. They all said, Panchas, we have to, because this is not for us, this is for the future generation to save Madhe, to save Vat. So, Yeka Munta Valor.
Good, very good. Yeah, I think Pratima, you're lost as a politician. You should join us. I've already given you an offer to join.
Offer. 365 has given me an offer now.
Dodor, you.
No, see, as far as Tiger and other things is concerned, we will discuss it separately.
Yeah, we have to have separate discussions.
My view still is, see, nobody is opposing. We want jungles.
You're on that. Okay.
So, but question is, see, with Tiger Reserve, there are certain liabilities that come with it. Are we in a position to shoulder that? That's a separate topic. We'll certainly have a discussion on that. Rest other things which she was talking about Banastari accident and not being discussed. That was the topic. That's where we begin, and thereafter we went haywire. What I'm suggesting, at least on road safety, drunk driving, and other things, there should have been a meaningful and fruitful discussion. That did not happen. See, there were the idea was floated that it is not possible to check each and every driver, but that is not what we are saying. At conspicuous place, if you keep few vans with alcometers, and if it becomes a habit, if it is routinely found there, then people itself will stop that. And if you punish, make an example of one or two, you suspend their license, you probably fine them heavily, or even take them into custody, maybe one or two people, that becomes, and then you put it on a newspaper or on social media, that becomes an example for others, and that would be the deterrent for people not to repeat such things. One more thing. Since the DGP statements, when did this? Now I am telling you, it is only because of media and social media that these things have come to light.
Media as a whole.
Media as a whole. Now it should
but it's not only. See, one thing I say media, but the thing is, see,
credit
even on media, social activists, analysts like you talk.
Correct.
Otherwise, media cannot do its job.
Correct.
Because
so therefore,
general people are scared to tackle. It's a civic society and the media which is actually doing much more than probably
so
other
taking it forward from where you finished, I would rather say DGP to introspect and see where you are lacking in behind, what is your shortfall, instead of pointing fingers at media to say that why they are investigating. They are doing their job. If you are quick, if you are dutiful, if your investigation was proper, they would have just reported it as any other news. But that did not happen. They had to investigation because there were several fingers pointing at you. So the fault lies in your investigation, the manner in which you have conducted investigation in this case. So to say that no, media is playing some kind of a super investigative agency, no, they are just trying to put out facts which are already in public domain. They are just trying to highlight the statements of eyewitnesses which supposedly are suppressed by those who are supposed to record it and act upon it. So I think this is very important point that calls for an introspection.
Yeah,
as you are talking about the police.
No, we are talking about the accident.
Basically, accident. Now let us take about the case about that IPS officer who was who was caught. Yeah,
he's just transferred. Nothing else.
He's waving.
1 minute. I'm coming to that point. Very shocking. A very learned legislator, my friend Vijay Sardesai, on the floor of the House, demands his suspension and send him back home. My question is, if this had happened to a layman, a tourist, you would have put him in the car and sent him on the border and say, go home?
No,
Why an FIR was not lodged suo motu? When a man who's supposed to be an officer, who's the protector of the law, gets you and he's naming him as a predator, and a predator you are telling him to suspend, send him home? What nonsense is this here?
No, I think what happened, no? He was just transferred out. So he said, how you can just transfer him out at least before
nobody was
suspended.
transferred. 1 minute, you
He was
are
transferred out.
1 minute, charge was talking about 1 minute. Whether he is transferred or he is not transferred, you cannot make a demand to suspend him. What is the meaning of suspension? No, 90% of the police officer suspensions are reinstated by the High Court because they come out in such a way, the procedure is not proper, therefore you are sent. So this suspension, he should have been terminated.
Point granted.
FIR lodged against him.
because it's a shame.
A serious case it is. Don't just leave him and file a charge sheet, put it in a fast track court so all officers fall in line.
It's not only that. Now look at the other IPS robbery.
It's a wrong.
Yeah.
Now,
And what happens here? 1 minute,
Constable,
please.
that constable has been suspended.
1
on this
minute.
robbery thing.
When the top officers are involved in such things, what do you expect from the lower officers?
Exactly.
But the lower officers keep on doing anything because they know what the top officers are
Top
doing.
officers.
And they get out of
But
it.
Rajan, same thing I was saying. Now that constable has been suspended.
Yes.
But there are 2 IPS who are protecting him.
Yes.
What's happened to them? They have not been named. No inquiry. Nothing has happened.
They have been protected because these officers, these people, lower people, know what these bosses are doing.
No. They are protecting this guy. Now he has been suspended. They have got off free.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
No.
See, he has been suspended.
His
And
suspension will be
inquiry-
reinstated
No,
again.
whatever, but he's been suspended.
These
What
are
about the
dramas
others?
here.
What about the others who are protecting him? Is my point. You are missing the point completely.
What I'm saying, there's an open case, open and shut case, you are telling him that send him home. File a FIR against him.
Fair enough. File an FIR against all these guys. Yeah.
What nonsense is this?
Yeah.
So you tweet this today. So
Yeah,
that the
okay, we are-
Basically, we need accountability when it comes to
Because
such
this is not going to talk tomorrow, I know this. I'm going to do it.
also, now I'll give you a small example. The same Goans and Indians, when they travel abroad, they follow all
All
traffic
rules.
rules. They don't drink and drive, no jumping
Yes, yes.
signals, nothing. Why does that happen? Because the law is strict. They know they will be punished. Here we know we can
Get
just
away.
skip the punishment. So
See, this VIP
And-
culture thing has come up now. Now the thing is that everybody with their allegations are going in Viraj that all people who are the media or politicians, all are getting tired saying no VIP culture. Actually, some people take advantage and
See that day one lady went topless.
What
she
what
put
he
a
was
car,
saying,
she
no?
was
Yeah,
driving-
yeah,
So,
driving the
Viraj,
car.
basically, so why is this happening? Because the law is not strict enough.
No.
We are not getting enough convictions.
laws are strict.
Laws are enough.
Yeah, implementation
Implementation is
Will
the
The
we
people
reach-
who are put
will
to
we
be
reach
to
the
be
level of
kept
Europe or
themselves, they
Dubai
rob it
overnight?
themselves.
No, it is a long process, but it has to start somewhere. We have to ensure that traffic violations, such incidences, accidents, the person who is accountable is given sufficient punishment. Only then the others will realize that we shouldn't be doing this, and they'll be more
Therefore, I
careful
said
and
this
that
IPS
chain
officer better
reaction
should
will
go to
stop.
fast track court. So
आणि
everybody
ती
should
झाला
be in line. All the officers know how to behave.
त्याने
Even
म्हणला
in
ते
the-
सारखे
that-
विराजान म्हणला ते ऍक्च्युली जाणा इन्व्हेस्टिगेशन दिवून सारखें जायना लॉज आनी हे ना तूं दुबय वचून पळय वॉट स्ट्रिक्ट लॉज आर देर एम आय रायट हांगा आयज पुलीस कितें केल्लें आसा पुलिसांक फक्त गव्हर्मेंटान चालना फक्त वयता थिंगा हेल्मेट
चालना म्हणजे
घालून
ते
आनी बेल्ट घालून
How has the police
कलेक्शन
got the
करता
jobs?
बट देर आर सम कॉप्स हू आर इन्वॉल्वड
How have the police got the
There
job? How
are
did they
some.
recover?
Hey, Rajan, let me speak. I
Absolutely.
never disturb you.
Okay.
I never disturb you. There
Okay,
are no
I'm disturbing you.
Yeah, sorry.
There are so many
I'm supporting
cops.
you.
Right?
Good.
Even the challans,
Hey, Baba, what's it?
Challenge. ते दीस भर तांकां ह्या जंक्शनाचेर त्या गरमेंत त्या जंक्शनाचेर ह्या हेजेर दोत्तात फकत तलाव घालपाक आनी तिजोरींत पयशे हाडपाक रेव्हेन्यू जनरेट करपाक पुलिसाचे जॉब कितें आतां CCTV कॅमेराज पुलीस पेट्रोलिंग पेइंग फोर्स ना कोण प्रोटेस्ट करता एजिटेशन करताले कमांडर्स आनी पुलिसाची राश हाडून बसी बसता पूण हिंगा वी डोंट सी अरे यू आर ओनली तांकां CM यू आर द होम मिनिस्टर एक्चुअली म्हाका दिसता होम मिनिस्टर शूड हॅव रिजायन्ड after such an incident home minister should resign but no they are all into their own things today आणि लायसन्स सस्पेंड करपाले I'm telling you last त्या बायले आतां एक्सिडेंट जाला ते बनासतारी त्या बायलेक मेघना कामत म्हणटा तिका खंय 5-6 चालन्स हे केल्ले 5-6 चालन्स
Seven.
ते पुलिसान केल्ले आनी
Including
हे जालें जाल्यार तेजे लायसन्स सस्पेंड जाता आसलें आयज जो एक्सिडेंट जावपाक फावो आसलो न्ही सो हू इज एट फॉल्ट सो जसपाल सिंगाक हें पयलें सांगपाक जाय कायदो आमकां शिकयनाका तू कायदो law makers are becoming law breakers today.
Giraj.
They are law protectors, not makers.
No.
So, coming to challans, what I believe is challans have to be faceless. It shouldn't be like the cop is standing there throughout the day in the heat, sun,
Yeah.
rain,
That's
and
what-
then he catches you. What this does is, we see a lot of people, they carry the helmet, they only wear it when the
Police.
cop is there. What is the purpose? The entire purpose is defeated. So it has to be faceless. So cameras, smart signals, and they are doing it. The government has
No, the
doing it.
AI cameras have been put, but
Yeah.
they started for a few days and now again it's
So it has to be like that. The challan has to reach your home, and
No,
it-
but why?
you have-
You know why? I don't know. I have a theory. This is a theory. I'm going to write a fiction book on this. I think money has to be collected. If cameras are there, cameras going to collect the money. It's not possible. It's a fiction. There's no fact in this. Absolutely not. Our people are very honest. Nobody does. Everybody follows the rule. But if it was a fictional storybook, how you going to collect money? If camera is there, tak, the talan goes home. No, here camera is not there.
Chirimiri.
Tak,
Yeah.
behind, go. Fiction I have to write because once I retire from this, I'll write a book
Right.
fictional. No? Rajan Babu, yes. Go ahead.
I'll give a few comments in
Go
this.
ahead. Yeah.
No, see, again I'm saying,
Preface.
there are enough laws. The laws are enough if they are implemented with honesty and dedication.
Yes, this I
But
agree.
can you expect honesty and dedication from
No.
a person who gets a job after paying?
This is also
Yeah.
part of the book,
Yeah,
fictional.
okay.
It's nothing factual here. It's all fiction.
And secondly, as Viraj says, they should be faceless. If there is faceless, then then you want only the hands to operate, to take without the face. It doesn't happen. It is the whole thing is, as by Prathina said, they are put in the nakas. Every naka person is told that so much has to come on top.
Come to.
Whether you like, I have seen people taking loan to pay that because they will recover it the next day from friends.
This is in my book. It's all fictional. None of this is true. Doctor, you tell me now.
So basically, question is of inefficiency and corruption, and I think
You don't have
success.
to bring the C word.
Yeah. So the successive governments have been guilty of it. There is no doubt about it. Police needs reforms, whether it is traffic police or investigative wing of the police. They need reform. They need a solid scientific educational background for the purpose of investigation that they lack. Sincerity, dedication and punctuality, which has to be a part of your job profile, that lacks. Third is too much of political interference.
Exactly.
Sadho, a local punch is in a position to interfere in an investigation of the crime. A punch, I am not talking about minister. So that has to stop. That has to stop. Otherwise, if police left to themselves and with less political interference, I am sure there will be much better investigation comparatively with this amendment and the suggestion that I just recited. I think it is possible for us to do much better than what we are doing. And for everything this, the will of a government is most important. That I will say that 100% progress in that direction is not something that I see on the table. So I think this is what government needs to do, because ultimately, see, whether Banastari issue or whether the issue that happened in the pub, the ultimate blame will come and rest in the court of the government, and these people will misbehave, and ultimate the consequences will have to be faced by the government.
This will all
These
happen.
people, see, the
This will
normally
all
the
happen
offenders,
when Dr. Samant
if you
comes
see,
to the top.
if you see,
50% of the 50%
see,
of the MLAs get thrown out.
see,
That is
see,
the record
it is
we've
the
had.
MLAs and the incumbent government which gets thrown out. These offenders are able to twist the system and get an acquittal for them. They are in trouble only for short time till the time trial is on. Even that IPS officer also, after 6 months everything will be forget. Yes, and probably he'll misbehave again there. And
Okay, guys,
probably
I'm
he'll
out of
misbehave
time.
again
I'm out of
there.
time. This has been interesting, but then you're right. See, one thing, our politicians, they are extremely smart. Extremely, they are brilliant. I think probably more than 182, 200 IQ असतेली त्यांची. But they don't realize that they are the ones taking the blame. 50% of them get thrown out, and it is not only from opposition, even from thing.
But police
That
are
is something they don't realize, but they still allow all these things to
happen.
I really don't know. Maybe there
No.
is some greater, major
No,
for
it's a-
intelligent
Police and
plan.
It's the immediate
Model.
benefits that they look
Police
at.
and
Guys,
Agents
okay
are
guys, now we are
paid
out of
jobs.
time. Now this was an assembly audit, but the discussion was anything but an assembly audit. So hopefully after Chaturthi we will be restarting our political discussion as we come closer and closer to the Lok Sabha, for which I'm sure Trajan will be very happy because he's already looking at 2024.
That is the salvation for this country.
Thanks Trajan Bab, thanks Pratibha Bhai, thanks Samant Bab, thanks Viraj Bab. Thank you and keep watching Goa 365.